auspicious. If you are Buddhist, if you've taken refuge, you should do your prostrations, proper prostrations, not just pretend ones. It's auspicious to do that. We all do our job. We all have our job to do. If you are a Buddhist, if you're not a Buddhist, you don't have to relax and whatever. I've done mine, so we all do ours together. Starts us off. It's a good start, using our body and our speech and our mind, using all three together. All right. So for some of us, it might be the start of the day. For others, it might be in the middle of the day, whatever. So just for this 30 minutes, let's think that we're together to use our mind in different ways, you know. Remembering the word meditate, it's so interesting. The verb, the Tibetan word for the verb to meditate is the verb to familiarize, to become familiar with, which is not what we think, you know. So the real meditation is when we use our mind to familiarize ourselves with, familiarize ourselves with two things, with virtue and with wisdom. That's meditation. And the reason we have concentration is so we can do that job better. That's the point. Concentration is just a start. So we think for this 30 minutes, we're here together to see our minds, work with our minds, be in control of our minds, be in charge of our minds instead of the other way around, so that we can develop our amazing potential, develop the two wings of the bird, wisdom and compassion. That's virtue and wisdom. That's it. So let's check our bodies. You know, our body doesn't meditate, but it needs to be in a conducive position. So all the great yogis from all the centuries have found various things about the body that make it most conducive. So we just do a mental check. It's about 8 things, 7 or 8 things. So the first is the legs. Just to remember, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, it's really auspicious if we can start our meditation session, just even for a second, in the full lotus position, which is the position where each of the legs is on the other thigh, the insteps is on the other thigh, and the body becomes very stable. The great yogis can stay for days, even weeks, in this position without the body toppling over. But also, you know, it allows the more subtler energies, the subtle winds and our subtler mind to move smoothly through the various, our subtle nervous system. So even you can start your session, it's so auspicious, His Holiness says. And if you can't do that, you have one leg up. If you can't do that, ordinary cross-legged. And if you can't do that, in a chair, whatever we can do. And then the next one is your bottom. So if you're in the full lotus, you know, you just have something just under the coccyx to help the body just slightly thrust forward. It makes the body very stable. But of course, if we can't do that, we need to find what's appropriate for us, whatever suits our bodies. And the third thing is your back. Really important to have the body upright, not slumped. Because when the body's slumped, the air and the mind can't go through the subtle channels smoothly, so we can become sleepy, become sluggish. But at the same time, as soon as this is just extra point, they don't mention this in the texts, but as soon as we put our body upright, we tense our muscles, especially our abdomen. So just relax the muscles. Keep your body upright, but relax the muscles. The shoulders, they mention the shoulders should be upright, but not tense. And your hands, you know, you can do what you like with them, but and the yogis do different things. But the classic position we're taught at the beginning is to have the left hand underneath, right on top, and the thumbs touching, forming a triangle, resting in our lap. And the next one is the head, the main one, really, the head. The head slightly forward, tilted, chin tucked in. Again, if the head is thrust back, the mind's agitated. Then the jaw relaxed, lips apart, and the tip of the tongue resting lightly behind the top teeth, just near the palate. This, the yogis have found, prevents having to dribble, very practical, and or having to swallow the spit all the time, apparently, for the long-term meditators. And then the eyes. Again, the yogis have found over the centuries, because they're the ones who meditate all day, To have the eyes open is the best because the light comes in, which keeps the mind very sharp. But of course, we don't have a subtle, we're not accessing our subtle mind, because so we get distracted by the sensory objects. They don't. Their senses have ceased. But so have your eyes open if you like, but best if you don't like that, lightly closed, but the eyes looking down, as if you're looking along your nose towards the ground. That's the position. That's the yogi's position. So settle into that. And then forget about the body, okay? The body doesn't meditate. It's a bonus if you feel good. It's not the criterion of a successful meditation. But because we're so addicted to our senses, we often think it is. It's not, but it's helpful if your body can be good. So let's start. Let's do the whole 30 minutes, or 25 now. We'll do concentration, but we'll do small sessions of 5 minutes. Lama Yeshe had us do an entire retreat one time, during in between all the different teachings, and he made us do 5-minute sessions. So I'm going to be, in this 30 minutes, I'll explain things as well to get real clear clarity about what we're trying to achieve when we do what the world calls a mindfulness meditation, but concentration, actually, it's concentration, what we're trying to do. So we do some talking and we'll do some silence. So the crucial thing with concentration, it's not an alternative to a pill. It's not only when things get bad. It is absolutely not to when you sit down, because when things are bad, we just want all the thoughts to go away and we think that's going to happen. This is naive. It's not even the point. It's not a relaxation technique. I can't stress this strongly enough. There are many marvelous relaxation techniques and we do need it, but this is not that. The aim is to get the mind to be super alert, super sharp, but also relaxed. But we either have enormous tension or we space out completely. We have these two extremes, So it's the technique, the actual task that we're doing is simply training our mind to stay on one thing. It won't stay on one thing, but that's the training. So the two main obstacles in concentration meditation, or in the text, the two main obstacles, and we know this, either you completely just space out and go to sleep, the mind becomes completely sluggish, completely dull, or the other extreme is the mind gets overexcited, overexcited, flying all over the place, unable to control, and we are familiar with both. So concentration is this magical place, and I mean it in the nicest way, between those two extremes. And the main job you're doing when you're training in concentration meditation, and the yogis, people spend 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years doing this to get it, to accomplish this subtle level of mind. It's this constant job of bringing the mind away from the excitement and away from the dullness. And it's a gradual progression in lessening those two extremes. Concentration is in between those two, because so we either have two extremes. Look in your daily life. We're either really bright and sharp and perky and wide awake and wound up and 1,000 things happening, and we can channel it. It's good. That's the sharp mind. That's the excited mind. That's attachment energy. But the other extreme is completely spaced out, depressed, dull. Even emotionally, we can see this. So in concentration meditation, we're trying to go away from those two extremes, find this place. And the crucial quality of good concentration is it's both completely calm, but not spaced out, and it's sharp as a needle, but not berserk. It's like we've got to retain the sharpness from the excitement without the excitement. And we've got to retain the calm that you have when you're spaced out, but without the spaced out. So we don't have that. We're either extreme. So concentration is in between those two. Put it like that, very simply. So let's just do 5 minutes. But one more piece of information. There's many parts of our mind. We tend to think, I'm concentrating. Yeah, you are. But don't be more precise. Which part of I? It's your mind. Which part of the mind? Well, there's different bits. And the part that's doing the looking is called attention. Pay attention. That is supported by another part of the mind called mindfulness, which really is the ability to keep your mind on to remember what you're doing moment by moment without forgetting. That's the meaning of mindfulness. It's one part of your mind. And that's, we're trying to, we're trying to keep the attention on the breath, but the mindfulness is there, trying to stay without forgetting. And then another part, His Holiness calls it the policeman is watching above, if you like, and that's called alertness or vigilance. It's watching like a hawk, that all the bits are doing their job, So the object we're going to concentrate on is that simple one. It's the breath. It's the sensation at your nostrils as you breathe in and out. So first, let's locate that sensation very precisely. And you'll see it's slightly different from when you breathe in and breathe out. But just locate it. Take a couple of good breaths and locate that sensation first. So, okay, our task, our job, we're going to do like 4-minute sessions, a couple of those. It's now 11 past. And we're going to, with determination, we think I am going to pay attention just to the breath. So what will happen? We all know already, as we're listening now, thoughts are raging on. We can't stop them. And you can't stop them forcefully. So don't have any expectation that thoughts will go away. That's not the point. Your main, if you're in a room of 100 people, your job is, you're trying to get concentration. So your job is to look at one spot on the wall. Think of it. That's your job. Your job isn't to wish the people would go away. I wish they'd stop talking. I wish they weren't here. No, let the thoughts come. Doesn't matter. But the strength of your determination keeps your attention on the breath. That's the thing. We kind of strengthen our attention. Otherwise, it's all over the place, floating around, listening to everything and going crazy. So we're strengthening this inner muscle, if you like. So just pay attention to the breath. And then, of course, you'll hear the thoughts in the background, but don't go there. That's the point. Let them come. Don't worry, but don't pay attention to them. Don't buy into them. Don't discuss with them. Don't have a dialogue. Don't wish they weren't there. Don't do that. Just put all your energy on just watching that breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. You might get distracted by sounds. Let the sound be there. Don't go there. Just stay on the breath. That's the job. And keep the mind sharp and alert. Just watch the breath. Just bring your attention back to the breath. Keep the mind sharp. Just the breath. So now just relax, completely relax. Open your eyes, relax your body, just stop the meditation. This is what we did with Lama. We did 5-minute sessions with 1-minute break in between to keep the mind, because the key is we're training the mind to be sharp. We're not just trying to relax. We're not just trying to feel good. We're not just trying to be quiet. None of that's the goal. The goal is to sharpen the mind, to keep it, to be, so then in our, so that, yeah, so there's 1 minute, just relax, look around, stretch your body, and then get back into your position, and we'll do another 5 minutes, another 4 minutes. Okay. So just check the body, check the position, your legs, your bottom, the body upright, the abdomen relaxed, shoulders, hands, head tilted forward. Just get back into the position. Really, they say you can, into a really good meditator's position, so just become very familiar with it. Head slightly tilted forward, chin tucked in, jaw relaxed, lips apart, tip of the tongue behind the top teeth, eyes looking down beneath your eyelids. Now settle in again and just locate that sensation at the nostrils. That's it. And then determination. I'm going to pay attention to the breath. Strong determination. We know we can. If you're driving on the freeway, there's no way in the universe you'll space out. You'll die. So it's like that determination. We don't think meditation is about that. We think it's spacing out. Absolutely wrong. This meditation is we're training the mind to get incredibly focused. That's the training long term. So the task is to get this attention, watch that breath every second. And the mindfulness is trying to work away, and the alertness is watching everything. And there's many other parts of the mind as well, all working away, all working hand in hand. But the attention is doing the looking. Think like that. Just pay attention to the breath. That's it. Just bring your mind back to the breath. Catch it, adjust it, bring it back to the breath. Just the breath. Keep the mind sharp, alert. Just the breath. Let everything else come and go. Don't pay attention, just the breath. So again, relax. That was about 4.5, 5 minutes again. Just now relax again. Open your eyes, wiggle your body, and then get settled in again. We'll do one more session, one more 5 minutes. Sometimes some people really like sitting quietly and feel very comfortable. That's not the sign of meditation at all. That's just relaxing. Some people get really agitated and think they're doing a bad job, but they're really trying to concentrate. So the second person is actually doing a better job. We've got to know what the purpose of it is. You know, we've got so many misconceptions about this meditation. It's very interesting. So settle in again. One more time, about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Just again, like just check the body, quickly go scan through the body, check the position, the legs, the bottom, the abdomen, your shoulders, your hands, your head, tongue, eyes. Just settle in. And again, locate that sensation, and with determination, try and catch every breath. Try not miss one breath. That's why it's good to count sometimes. And if you like, you can count, so you don't miss one. So just keep it. You don't have to count, but try and not miss one breath. That's the whole idea. Don't lose your attention. Don't space out. Sharp, focused, watching the breath. That's it. As it goes in and as it goes out. Keeping the mind alert. That's the plan. Let the thoughts come and go. Don't pay attention to them. Just the breath. Just the breath. Okay, that's it. Just finish. So again, we finish and we think, why are we doing this? This is the whole point. Why are we trying to concentrate? We're going to ask that simple question. Why do we want concentration? So in the long-term goal, when you've completely got this calm abiding, when your mind is incredible subtle level, the reason to have it, the simple reason for the Buddha is now you can use it in the second mode of meditation or in general in your daily life to know what, to work out, to get wisdom basically, to be able to cut through the nonsense, the misconceptions, so we can see how things exist. So in the simple sense in day-to-day life, the benefit from this 30 minutes is that when we open our eyes, we go do the dishes, we go get the breakfast, we talk to the children, we talk to the husband, we hop into the traffic, not these days, then suddenly we're caught up in everything again and we're not paying attention. So then we're suddenly, you're mad at somebody and out the words come in the mouth because we're not paying attention. So we're training the mind to become sharp. So in your daily life, when everything's happening, you're also noticing what's going on inside. And that's the skill we have to learn. That's the skill. The reason we have focus, the reason we have concentration, so we can see what's going on and be reasonable with the mind and start to become in control of our mind. That's a simple application of day-to-day of this technique. To get insight just means to see what's going on, to be clear. It's a simple way of putting it. That's the advantage. So we think, how delightful. For 30 minutes, 25 minutes, we've tried to do that. Training our mind. It's like training. 5 minutes of push-ups, take a relax, 5 minutes again. Training the mind to focus. So we can use that focus to get in touch with reality, basically. So we delight. A little bit of work we've done. How marvelous. All these seeds we've planted for this 30 minutes, this effort we've made. It won't get lost. We add on to it tomorrow, the next day, and that's how we build it up. Jangchub, Semchog, Rinpoche, Ma Kie Panam Kie Gyuchi, Kie Panyam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gong Ne Gong Du, Pelba Sho. May this bodhicitta, this amazing aspiration to be of benefit to others, may it grow and grow in the hearts of all. That's it, everybody. Thank you, dearest people.